Now it's time to talk about some Django template filter tags. If you go to this URL right here and then do a quick Command F for truncate words, you'll see this one. What this does is it just cuts off whatever that value is after a certain amount of words. So to do this, we are going to take a look at a product that we added some description to using lorem ipsum text, which is just placeholder text. It looks like real text, but it's actually just dummy text. Web developers use this a lot. Okay, so I have this product with a super long description, right? It's really, really long. I don't want to show that on my list view, but let's do that first. Let's actually show it on our list view so we can see the way we don't want it. So then we can make it the way we do. I'm going to get rid of this card text. I'm in products card or product snippet card. And we'll do instance.description. And this should actually bring out or render our description. Notice how long it is. Look at how long my page is for that one thing. That's not good. Now my other products, those are fine. They're not great, but they're not great because the descriptions are so short. So what I want instead is using that filter of truncate words. So I use a pipe, which is that up and down line, and truncate words, colon, and then the number of words you want. So an actual number. So like if I said 12 and I refreshed in here, boom, it makes it a lot more organized. There's other ways to do this, right? Like, so you don't actually have to use specifically Django to do this. You can use something like JavaScript or some CSS to hide things and all that. But this makes it nice, and it adds these little 3 dots if it's longer. That's it, right? So it just so happens it's a period right there, but let's change it to like, 14. And you can see that, oh, okay, cool. There's more content that's still there. And if I click on view, woof, what happened here? Well, if I go back into this template filter, there's another thing called line breaks. So we can chain filters together. I refresh that. That doesn't do anything here, or it doesn't seem like it does anything. So let's bring this line breaks into our detail view for the description. Put line breaks there, save that, refresh, and now I've got my paragraphs actually showing up. And while I'm in here, I might as well just add div class equals to container, and div class equals to row, and div class equals to column. And then close off those 3 divs, refresh, and there. Now it's a little bit better. Okay. And the title, let's go ahead and add an H1. Might as well make this look even better. There we go. So now we've got this long description for this product in this case, but a short description on the list. And that has everything to do with these filters. So you can try out some other ones. Like, look at this. This says title. It can change values to something else. So you can also write out, let's do H3, and I'll say some title here, and then just do title. Notice that it's just a string, and I have it as title. I refresh, and it does that. Oops, let's close off that H3. Some title here, it actually titles it out, right? So there's other template filter tags that you can try out with all sorts of these things. Time sense is a good one. So let's go ahead and hopefully we have object.timestamp. I believe we do. So I'll save the timestamp, refresh. We do not have the timestamp. So we're going to have to do that some other time. Haha. But realistically, you could use a field called timestamp and have that rendered out. Since we're talking about it, let's go ahead and just make it. And I'll just say timestamp inside of this model equals to models.date time field auto now add equals to true, which means that when we save it into the database, it's going to set this field for us automatically. We made some changes to our models. So what are we going to do? Python manage.py, make migrations. It's going to ask us to do a default or, provide one in the models. We'll do a one-off default right now. Notice that the Django utils time zone module is available, so we can do something like timezone.now, which is basically saying that everything that's in our database, we're just saying that the timestamp for it is now. So I'll go ahead and run python manage.py, migrate to make sure these changes are there. And we refresh in here, and now I see that I have some date here, right? So I can actually use that other filter, going back into the detail, this filter, and say time since. Really cool. Refresh 0 minutes ago. I mean, I just did it, so it's going to say 0 minutes ago. So you could say 0 minutes ago and have that showing up just like that. Really useful for all sorts of posts. I mean, and every single item would actually come in here saying that same thing. I'll leave that 0 minutes ago in there for a little while, or the timestamp stuff in there. I don't need the title thing, but I do want you to play around with this now that you have a better understanding of how it works. And hopefully you'll even take a look at the formatting for any given time. I want to leave that one to you to just play around with itself. Like, how do you actually change it so it's formatted in a different way that you want it to be formatted? How do you change it so the date is formatted differently? Is another way to say that. I have time there, but what about the date filter? Ooh, if I search for date or just date, I can see there is a date filter in here somewhere. There it is. Here's the date filter. So you can use that here. I mean, you wouldn't use time since and date together, but it will probably give you an error if you try. That's where we're going to leave it for filters. If you have questions, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.